Hey, gorgeous. Welcome to the Healing Elevates Relationships podcast. I'm your host, Bernadette Jackson, CEO and Lead Strategist at H.E.R Consulting Group and the creator of Her Way Relationship Intensive course. This podcast was created as a response to my desire to redefine how the world views women with daddy issues. I release a new episode every week, so expect to hear me and my guests discussing topics, sharing stories, and gaining insights from the perspective of a fatherless daughter and the people who love and support us. If this is your first time here, here's what I want you to know. You deserve amazing relationships, and nothing you've done or experienced disqualifies you from that. But here's the thing. Amazing relationships with others happen after you cultivate an amazing relationship with yourself. And how do you do that? Self-discovery, healing, and accessing your authenticity. Let's dive in. Hey y'all, we are back. I am so excited to be back on the podcast with season 4. I did not think that when I started this podcast that we would get this far. I knew I had something to say, but I didn't know how long it was going to last. And we are now at season 4. I know that you have noticed that there is a different intro and a name change. And so I have gone from the Bernadette Jackson podcast to Healing Elevates Relationship podcast. It has always been my intention to have a podcast be a place for fatherless daughters where they can learn, grow, and heal while we are redefining how the world views women like us. We are not all a monolith and shouldn't be treated that way. And I truly believe that healing elevates relationships. And so it felt right for my podcast to be named more appropriately for the work that we're doing around here. I am really looking forward to bringing you more topics that speak to what healing can look like and what it feels like and what happens when we decide not to heal, because that's also something that I don't think a lot of us really explore. We talk about how it is to heal. We talk about that hard work and that heart work. But when we decide that we don't want to change, when we decide that we don't want to look inside and see what's been going on and why, there are some results to that as well. And we're going to explore that. As you know, I have been on my own healing journey for several years now, and what I needed in order to maintain my progress has evolved over the years. I have spent a great deal of time looking for patterns in my behavior, looking for patterns in my clients' behavior, and trying to find what the real practical and sustainable solutions are to those patterns and to those problems. And a lot of that, as you know, if you've heard my story, it stems from not finding the solutions that I needed when I first started my healing journey. And so doing this work and really just being the solution that I needed has made my own healing journey so much richer. And I want to discuss some of that this year as well. There has been a few things that have changed since the last time we spoke. We've been on hiatus now for maybe about 3 months. And so one of the things that has changed is that I turned 40, y'all. I'm in a whole new decade. I feel grown, like my mom, she can't tell me what to do anymore. I'm just kidding. Mom, if you hear this, don't call me, please. I'm just joking. I didn't mean that. But really, I really feel different. I feel like 40 feels different. And what I've noticed is that I am more settled into my big age. And I feel so much more comfortable being exactly who I am, being transparent about my flaws, about the things that I struggle with, just letting my kookiness and my social awkwardness shine through, all of it. I am so much more comfortable in every aspect of who I am and who I'm becoming. And I feel like that is attributed a lot to not only getting to this age, but also in my healing journey. Because honestly, prior to that, I I showed up a lot differently. There was a lot that I didn't think that I could put on display. There was a lot about myself that I saved for maybe a handful of people that I truly, truly trusted, because I didn't think that if I showed up authentically, that I would be accepted in every space. And so a lot of what I did was really wear a mask, and the kind of mask that I wore and why I thought that it was necessary, and how I have gone from doing that, wearing that palatable persona to now accessing my authenticity is really what I want to focus on this year. It's what I want to focus on this season of the podcast as well. Honestly, I have accessed authenticity in a way that I thought I never would, and it feels really, really good. I love that I'm at a space where I can now just sit in who I am, and really just be myself fully, openly, unapologetically. One of the things that I decided when I turned 40 was that I was going to start to live more. And what I mean by that is that I've spent the majority of my life achieving, trying to achieve the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and not really sitting down and taking inventory of what I've done and really saying, wow, Bernadette, this is really good. I'm really proud of you. How are we going to celebrate this accomplishment? And so because I really haven't stopped to do any of that, I decided that 40 was going to be the year where I was going to curate 40 different experiences for myself to represent the 40 trips that I took around the sun. I am super excited about it. Each experience is going to be different, and it's really just a celebration for me this year of who I am, who I have grown to be, what I am looking forward to in the future, and what I want to experience. So far, I have gone to a rock concert, and it's not my favorite genre of music, but I did have a good time. And then I planned this really great dinner on a rooftop restaurant in Governor's Island here in New York. And that was supposed to be for my actual birthday, but COVID would not let me be great. So I had to postpone that curated event, and it's okay because I'm going to do it later on, and I'm looking forward to that because, I knew that was going to be so good. It was going to be so, so good. So I'm going to be scheduling that for sometime, maybe when the weather breaks, it gets a little warmer here in New York, where there'll probably be some outdoor seating, and, the mask mandate and things of that nature are going to be lifted here in New York. So it won't be so many restrictions. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I also have a few more things lined up that I am super excited to experience. And I decided to curate my 40 for 40 because honestly, I really want to start creating pockets of pleasure for myself. I feel like I've done so much of the other work, but curating these pockets of pleasure where I'm really intentional about having pleasurable experiences has not been something I prioritized. And so this is where that came from. And I'm definitely going to be taking you guys along for the journey. So stay tuned for the highlight reel when I decide to do something and where I go and what it was like and all of that. The second thing that has changed that I am so excited about is that I can now put author next to my name. Your girl is a whole author, y'all. I have been working on this project for a while, and I am so proud of myself. It is called Access Authenticity, and it is a journal. It is something that I wish that I had when I was growing up, when I was in college, when I was trying to figure out who I wanted to be, who I was, and why this is the kind of thing that really would have helped me to guide me to my truest self. And I wrote the journal because I want to give women who have survived trauma, whether it is fatherlessness or something else, a path towards showing up in their truest identity instead of the palatable persona that I was talking to you about that they feel they have to wear to avoid shame or to feel like they belong. This journal and strategy guide has over 170 deep reflective questions that is going to help you take that deep dive into who you really are and why. And because I added the strategy part to it, it's going to help you to continue to access authenticity once you discover exactly who has been hiding deep inside of you. So I am really excited about this. And if this is something that you're interested in, you can go to Amazon and it is available for you right there. You can type in access authenticity and you will see my journal and strategy guide. Man, this is something that's been a really long time coming, to be honest with you. I wanted to be a author for, I don't know, maybe about 7 years now. And I was trying to figure out, what would I write? Would I write my own story? Would I talk about, things that I've gone through? Would I do something that was fiction? I always wondered. A lot of people who are just meeting me or who haven't known me since I was younger wouldn't even know that I used to write poetry, and I used to do it really regularly, and it was really good. But, as I got older, that's just not the creative outlet that I wanted to have anymore. And so, being able to say that, okay, like I've actually published this journal and I'm working on some other written projects as well, it's something that is a full circle moment for me. So I'm really excited about that. I can't wait to get into how authenticity plays a huge part in experiencing the amazing relationships that we all deserve. And so this season is going to be all about that. How do we access authenticity? What does it look like? What is the barrier that we may have in place for that? Why is that barrier there? And what can we do about it? So this season is going to be so good. I can't wait for it. And nothing more about this podcast or how we have been doing things for the past 3 seasons is going to change. We are still going to be having 1 episode a week, and it is going to be on Tuesdays as it always has been. I'm definitely looking forward to next week's episode because we're going to be talking about instant gratification and why it is that we love it so much. And some of the reasons that I bring up, you may not have thought about. So definitely stay tuned for that. And then next month is Couples Appreciation Month, and I have something really good cooked up. So I want you guys to stay tuned. Thank you so much for being patient with me while I took this hiatus and just rocking me with me all this time. I have truly enjoyed engaging with you, and I look forward to continuing in this capacity for the foreseeable future. I hope that you enjoyed catching up with me and just, getting a little glimpse of what I've been doing. And make sure that you get your copy of Access Authenticity Journal and Strategy on Amazon. Trust me, you will not be disappointed by this. And I promise you, this is not going to be a journal that you have ever had. So you make sure that you get a copy of it. And once you do, hit me up in the DMs and let me know I got my copy. You guys know that I love y'all. I will talk to you next week. And remember, you deserve amazing relationships. But the day that you plant the seed is not the day that you eat the fruit. So keep doing the work. Bye.